You're not nervous, are you? Nobody's nervous. No Leicester fans are nervous. Nobody thinks that we could screw this up because we ain't going to. I think that was a decent draw away at Hull on Saturday, but it is getting bottom tinglingly close. Do you agree? We want your views. We want your comments in the next half hour. There's loads to look forward to in the promotion running that we're all looking forward to. There's the FA Cup trip as well away on Sunday to Chelsea. So what do you guys want to talk about? 30 minutes, whatever you want to talk about. We put your views, your comments on screen, and we'll talk about it. So join us for the next 29 minutes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everods, Bolo Blinds, Pocker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Nubian Co, and the Fox's Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, good evening and welcome. My name's Phil. We are here just to talk about your comments for the next half an hour. If you've not followed us yet, please follow us down here at Leicester Fan TV on whatever social media platform is your choice. But most importantly, get your comments in. What do you want to talk about? Are you excited and looking forward to the next 8 or 9 games? Are you absolutely popping your pants and just want to get the season over and done with? How are you feeling? As ever, we can get your views in live on the show. Craig says, good evening, everybody. Classic V9 Jamie Vardy saved us on Saturday. Well, have we been writing Jamie Vardy up a little bit too early? I think he's on 13, 14, 15 goals this season. He could quite easily get to 20 goals this season. Would you give him another year? His contract's up. Craig, let us know. Good evening, Dawn. Hope you're well. Andy, hope you're well. Thanks for watching in there. Maz, evening. Yeah, Maz, how are you feeling? Are you excited? Ivan's watching. He says that whole point would have been good if we'd have taken 6 against Borough and QPR. We need wins, not draws. Yes, it could be the point at the end of the season we all look back on and go, well, that was just the point. That's all we needed to get us over the line. Bubba's watching out in the United States of America. Good evening, Bubba. He says, this 3-week text from the league or break from the league will give us a rest, gets us some injured players back, and we'll be strong for the finish. Points from every game. I've got the list of everybody's games that are coming up, Bubba, and I'm going to talk to Tom about what games we've got coming up and how we think we're going to do. Scotty, good evening. Kian, good evening. Dave says, agree a draw was a good result. We should be using the next 2 weeks to get our form back. Obviously, we've got Chelsea on Sunday. What sort of side do you put out for Chelsea? We're 1 game away from a trip to Wembley in the semi-finals, which we'd all love. Had we not lost to cute Queen's Park Rangers, we'd have probably been lining up this conversation very, very differently, wouldn't we, Dave? That we probably would have all been saying, let's go for it in the FA Cup. Semi-final, yes, please. Actual final, you never know. But I think I'm still looking at the next game after that, which is, I think, Bristol City away, and thinking that's got a lot more appointment on it. Rest from the league, says Bubba. Indeed there. Dean says, yes, we can. Fingers crossed we can do it. Nick is saying, I would have taken a draw before kickoff. It wasn't the worst result, and I think it was about a fair result, if I'm honest, didn't it? I thought Hull were decent. Jason says, what would we do without Vardy? It's a great question. Would you give him that new contract, Jason, for next year? Let us know in there. Kian says, honestly think we've bottled it. See, this is Kian's. There's a lot of fans thinking this is it. I know. I've seen, if you watch Locks from Leicester Fan TV's views, he was like, we're going to break the points record, most goals ever scored. And now he's like, down here, we've messed it up. But I don't think we've messed it up now. Andy says here, do you think we need to change the defence? I'm going to ask Tom that in a minute and see what he thinks to that. Josh says, bring on the international break and go again. I think it probably, do you agree with this? Often the international breaks have come at the wrong time for us. I think this one might have come at the right time. gives us a bit of a balancing time to get people back. Dawn says shouldn't have took Vardy off on Saturday. I'm going to ask Tom that because he was on a hat-trick, and I don't think bringing Daka did that much in there. In fact, let's get Tom in now. We're going to keep getting your comments in, but Tom's going to join us. Good evening, Tom. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get through. We're going to try and react to as many comments. Dawn says there, shouldn't have took Vardy off on Saturday. Think he would have got that hat-trick. Got to manage his time, haven't you, a little bit?
I think
5 minutes? If he's done 85, he might as well do 90.
it's a tricky one, isn't it? If you look at the injury time, it was another 15 minutes added onto him. He's 37. I don't think he can last that long now. I think he's proved a point. As he starts, he's a 70-minute, 80 minutes max, and then he has to go. Interesting that after the game, he put on Instagram that he was back in his ice chamber already on the day after recovery. So, look, let's get him wrapped up. We've got 9 games. We needed to play in all 9 of those games for me. And for me, that means he doesn't train between the games. He doesn't train. We get him out there on the pitch and we just unfold him every single game we can, but protecting the most best if we can.
Yeah, Dave says here, I'm going to get through a few comments and then we'll react to them. Dave says we won't be top next time we play, so we have to hit the ground running. Dave is like, I know Leeds are playing on, obviously, this weekend. They're
Sunday.
playing Millwall. Is it Sunday? They're playing Millwall.
Yes.
So, yeah, they might beat Millwall. It is, again, that is at Leeds, so probably will beat them, and we probably won't be top, Tom. It's just how it is, isn't it?
It is, but then you've got to look at Millwall, who've won the last 3 games in a row since Harris went back in charge. And as he said, I've never been to Leeds and feared the ground, and I won't go on Sunday and fear the ground. He'll have that Millwall team up for it. You got to remember, this is the manager who beat Leicester in the FA Cup. He had that team. He's going to have a team who wants to go to Leeds and win. This league is not over after one result for me, and it's our blip. Every team's had a blip this year. We're now having ours, and I think we all knew it was going to come at some point. There was no way we were going to go, another 20 or 30 games without losing a few games here and there. It's going to happen. Big game for us for Sunday. We got to concentrate on that. It's a trip to Wembley, in my view. What I truly believe we can go and do.
Tom, I'm gonna put a couple of comments up here about this weekend's trip. Now you've put it out there. Scooby says, put the reserves out in the cup. The Premiership is our goal. What do you think? Just don't want any injuries in there. Ivan says, forget Chelsea. It's essential we get promoted or it's bust next season in the Championship. Tom, I actually agree with Ivan there because I think financially, if we were to not get promoted, everything that's coming out the woodwork about FFP and how things are going to be, if we don't get promoted this season, I dread to think what sort of mess, not mess, I don't want to make too dramatic, but I dread to think what next season would look like in the Championship for Leicester City with forget, do you give Vardy and Vestergaard and Ndidi, Dennis Pratt, they're all gone. And then you start looking at how much are we paying Winks and how much are we paying Cody and how the hell are we affording that in year 2 in the Championship? So for me, great, put the reserves out, and if they beat Chelsea, great, but can't afford any injuries, got to rest players, haven't we? That's my logic, much as I love the FA Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of picked a team and put it on Twitter, and a few went, no, you've got to play the first team. Let's go for it. We ain't got a game for 2 weeks. I sort of did a mixture between the two. My team, I think it was Salarczyk in goal. I think I had Cody in there, Vestergaard in there, Doyle in there because he hasn't played regularly. It'd be good to get some minutes back under his belt if Jojo's the starting left back. Hamza in there because obviously we're talking about Ricardo because he'll come back after the international break. Obviously, it's difficult that we haven't got another playmaker in there, so Winks automatically has to play the game for me. We need someone who can make us tick along a little bit. Then it was Eunice playing. I think Diddy had a game in there as well. And then it was Tom Cannon with Martial and Albrighton. Bit similar to the team that we played at Bournemouth the other week, giving the lads who got us the position the chances, because it'd be very unfair to see Mads going in goal this weekend, that Salarczyk has started every game in the Cup. So I truly believe that Salarczyk will start in goal this weekend. I don't think he's going to change it up that much. I think he will bring some players in and change it to, as in the Cup game he played at Bournemouth, and have the subs on the bench to bring on if he needs to.
Yeah, Bubba says here we've got a week before and almost 2 weeks after put out the best team on Sunday. But Bubba, I'm not sure if fans truly understand the finances of the club if we were to stay in the Championship another season. the squad, without doubt, next season would be, I would say, a shadow of this year's squad, a real shadow, because there'd be those players who are on free contracts at the end of the year would definitely be gone, and then the players you'd be attracting in would be of far lower caliber. And some of the best players, the Dewsbury Halls, even the Hermansons, the Ricky P's, there'd be a lot of players who'd be going, I've done 1 year in the Championship. I don't have to do 2.
I think I look back to the season in 2022. We went into administration, and I remember that squad of players then, had to get us up, and they did. I think Matt Elliott and Taggart hit it nail on the head. They realised the club hadn't gone up. What financially, the club would have been absolutely gone. So I think the players will know this year now it's all about staying together, getting us out of this league and going, because I agree with you, Phil, that if we don't go up, next season, Winks ain't going to be here. Winks will go to a team that goes up. He'll go to a Leeds, to Southampton, quite happily go and play in one of those teams next season. It's nowhere like. He's not going to sit around for another season. Cody might be one of the most senior players left at the football club.
Yeah. Dewsbury Hall would go, Tom. These players would go.
Dewsbury Hall, Faz. You ain't going to get Fatui. Yes, you'll have Mavadidi still here. Cannon will be still here because obviously signed a 4-year contract. Daka will probably go. Nacho's gone on a free. That team would be ripped apart from what Enzo's built. Can you see Enzo wanting to stay here for another season as well on top of that? Because he wouldn't have any of the team that he thought he had last year. So it'd be a massive, if you wanted to see the team, you'd lose probably the manager in my head.
And Scotty says it, I think if we don't get promoted, we will be in the Championship for many years to come. I hate to say it, Scotty, but I think you're probably right, to be fair, if you're on it. Imtiaz also says here, Tom, he says, what are the implications of the, rules and all that in the Premier League from this summer? It doesn't, for me, Tom, none of this financial fair play matters because we're not going to get affected this year. We've just got to get to the Premier League and then, sure, they're going to deduct us points, whatever's, and we start on a -3, a -6, so be it. But we've got to get there first, So that's all we can talk about tonight, isn't it? I don't want to talk about FFP.
Well, it's not done and dusted yet. There's a long way to go. We're talking about this in the chat earlier, weren't we, Phil? And I put something along. So you've got to remember, Southampton will have a massive say in who's going up and who's in the playoffs. Yeah. They've obviously got to play us, Ipswich and Leeds in the next 6 weeks, I think it is, or 5 weeks. They play all of us. Leeds have got some tough games. Leeds play Coventry at the Rico on the 6th of April. Another tough game. Coventry fighting to be in the playoffs. This ain't settled yet. I still look at the running fixtures and think we have every chance to break away again in the next 5 to 6 games. Those games, after the international break, yes, tough games against Bristol and Norwich. I accept that. But then you look at it and you go, well, Plymouth, we've got to go there and win. But Birmingham at home, you've got to beat them. There's games there where you've got to be picking up the maximum points and just going for it at those games. Bristol away, I still expect us to go and do the job there. Norwich at home will be a tough game. I've always said that. Norwich are not going to lie down. They'll fight and stay in those playoff spaces. But I think the next 5 to 6 game will be crucial to see where we're going to finish. And like I said, the games around us, teams have still got to play each other around us. And we've sort of got the easier running. I know we've got West Brom and I know we've got Norwich. Blackburn, again, they ain't got nothing to fight for now. And Bristol ain't got nothing to fight for in theory, so they might take their foot off the gas. We've got teams that we can beat. Leeds have got a trickier running for the fixtures for me and Ipswich than Leicester have.
Tom, the next 5 games, we've got Bristol City away. We should win that. If we want to be a Premier League side, we go to Bristol City and we get 3 points. If we want to be that Premier League side, we then beat Norwich City at home because they're not as good as us. We then beat Birmingham City at home because they're nowhere near as good as us. Then we've got Millwall away. We should beat them. Plymouth away. We should beat them. The next 5 games, if we want to be in the Premier League, those 5 games are all got 3 points written all over them if you want to be that team. And this is where the chips are down, the player and the manager. I said in one of our chats earlier to Tom, I said, this is where we see either at the end of the season, we're all celebrating and saying Enzo is done a great job and the players have done a great job. Or you look back at the end and you go, yeah, they didn't get it right because the chips are now down on the table, aren't they?
Oh, massively. And like I said to you earlier, every club has had a blip. We have now had a blip. We've only won 1 in 5. But that has to be the end of the blip. It can't go on for another 4, 5, 6 games, or you literally can kiss goodbye promotion because Ipswich aren't gone away. yeah, they lost at the weekend. They'll bounce back this weekend. They're at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Yes, they're fighting, but still don't see Ipswich having any problems with beating Sheffield Wednesday. Leeds, Mill, another tough game. All we can hope is that Mill can stop them scoring as many goals they want to at the moment. Leeds look like a force. Again, it's all about us turning this blip or mini downfall of ourselves. What was going to come, as I said a bit earlier, it was going to come, but we have to turn it around. I do feel though having Ricardo back will have a massive impact on the team. I think we saw how good he was away at Leeds. Then to get the injury against Bournemouth was gut wrenching. I really don't know why we brought him on against Bournemouth. For me, I would have rather we kept him away from that pitch and kept him for the QPR game because again, I think with Ricardo in the team and Diddy in the team, we're a far better team than without.
But that's like Richard's saying there, Tom. Play the weakened side, play the reserves against Chelsea. You've just said don't play Ricardo Pereira against Bournemouth. We just can't afford to lose the real quality in the side that makes a difference. And that's why Chelsea has to be, for me, everybody who you don't think is going to start against. And I still think we'd have a go.
Every opportunity to have a go. Chelsea aren't anywhere near what they were used to be. Let's not forget about it. They've spent 500 million and they still can't even get in the top 10 of the Premier League. This is a team who's unorganised. This is a team who aren't anything special at the moment. A team who's not going to have their Renzo playing in the middle of the park for them because he's suspended for the next game. So, look, we have every opportunity, even if we put a weakened team out there, to go and give them a game and score goals. Because at the moment, they will concede goals. We can see that happen this season.
Bubba says that the home format has become troubling again in there. Richie says Leicester City will win the next 9 games in the row. Don't rule it out, Richie. I definitely think we could go and win the next 5 on the row. And again, a question that I want to ask everybody watching and Tom this, because somebody put in there, I think it was Patrick Hook put a comment up and I put it on screen, is I think 6 games will do it. I actually think, Tom, 5 wins and a couple of draws might just about do it. I think, the last 9, what have you got an eye on how many games you actually think we need to win?
I think I've already said 6. You win 6 and I think you're home and dry because no way Ipswich and Leeds both going to win 6 games and then not make up points. Like I say, Southampton is the team for us. They're the team that we have to beat and that'll be the 3rd but last game of the season. I think it is now. That would be the way to do it. Beat Southampton and guarantee yourself promotion back to the Premier League. It's not going to be easy, but I said 5 definitely, a foot mark in where we need to go. And that's why I said the next 5. If you can win the next 5, then you give yourself, right, we've got 4 to go. If we win 2 out of those 4, we'll guarantee it. But like I say, we only can concentrate on us now. There's a lot of talk of, Leeds could be top by the time we play. They could be top, but they would have played a game more than us. So again, it means nothing. Even if they get the win, they'll go level on points with us. What's fine. But that doesn't mean the end of the world because we only need them to draw that game against Southampton. What would be our game in hand to go above them again if we kept the points tally at the same? Same as Ipswich. No one would have thought that 1-0 up on Saturday they would have lost the game in the fashion they lost it. That would have dented their confidence. Their fans were angry that they lost their game on Saturday because they knew Leicester picking a point, it was better for us than it was for them.
Yeah, indeed. Fantastic. Mr. Fox says, hopefully Leeds and us will go up automatically. Ipswich will fade. People keep talking about Ipswich fading. They just don't go away, mate. But we'll win the playoffs. And Enzo, I trust in there. Nathan says, drop Faze. He's made far too many errors and cost us goals and points. I'm not seeing that, but are you, Tom? What's your take on Faze?
I think Saturday, I was Saturday, I think at half-time, a few were saying, let's get Cody on now. He's made a right blunder there. And I think the thing was that goal, where it comes from for me, is the more frustration that we all knew what Hull were going to do. We all knew from the game of the King Power that Hull weren't going to sit behind the ball and put 10 men. They were going to come out, a high tempo, high press. I just not stay to play when we start struggling.
Which is sort of what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying we all knew what they were going to do. The problem is why Faz, Dilly and Daddy's on the ball in that area. You've got every opportunity that they were going to close it down and you just sort of like got away with them missing a penalty. But then you go and give them the goal, within 5 minutes and it's thinking, it's another little bell. You don't make that mistakes. We win the game 2-1. That's how I look at it as well. That mistake has cost us 2 points. And for me, those 2 points could be crucial at the end of the season. But look, Hull are no mugs. I said it after the game. Hull are a good team. Liam Rossini is doing a fantastic job at he's built a team. It's taken 2.5 years to build that team. And look at Pearson when he came back to Leicester. It took 2.5 years to build a team back to where it wanted to be.
Yeah.
Leicester, Enzo, for me, has done fabulous to build a team to get us where we are already this season. And that's within, 2 months of coming into the football club. So you can't really argue for what Enzo's done and where we're at.
Lots of comments coming in. Please do keep getting your comments in. We'll try and talk about as much as we can. And if I can't talk about it, we'll get it on screen. Mark says here, stop playing out from the back. I feel the same, Mark, but it is how we play. So therefore, FaZe is going to make mistakes because that's how we play. It's part of the system. Leeds have played 12, won 11 and drew 1 this year. There's every chance we go on a surge from now, which is what me and Tom was saying. If you look at the next 9 games, it is a chance for that. Boo Records says, I think we need to drop JJ. I could get around JJ at the moment, and he's so lazy and switches off too many times in there. Jason says Cody should start. Neil says FaZe is not good when the chips are down. His head does go down quickly. I have noticed that, Tom, that FaZe looks like he almost gets a bit apathetic, doesn't care, doesn't bother. I don't know if it's because he's got his long curly hair and he just does a bit of a shrug that others might do, and you notice him, but he looks a bit...
I think he gets frustrated. I think he gets frustrated very easily when things aren't going the way he wants it to go with the team or the passing. He gets frustrated. He made a mistake. I mean, look at the frustration at the end of the game. The players had to drag him away from the referee because he didn't send their player off. That's how frustrated the team was on Saturday. They weren't frustrating with the ref because of not getting certain decisions, but Faz was so frustrating.
Are we going to debate that, Tom? Was it a yellow and a red or not? In my books, FaZe puts the ball down. The player is within 10 yards. The player does make a bit of a movement, but FaZe does look like he tries to kick it at him, say, get out the way. So I'm a bit like, it's a bit 50-50, but I'm pretty sure the ref goes for his pocket. He goes for his pocket and he's like, oh, hang on, you've been booked, mate. So I'm bottling it. Bottled it, yeah. But
he bottled it, mate, every day of the week. Look, the rules state that if a referee gives a free kick, you move away from the ball. If you don't move away from the ball and get in line with the ball, then you're going to get being yellow carded. Faz puts the ball down, but unlike the video clearly states at the beginning, before he kicks that ball, their player takes 4 or 5 strides towards the ball to block him from taking the quick free kick. That's the second yellow card, and off he goes. He bottled it. He bottled every decision in the second half. Vardy's penalty in the second half, he should add another penalty. That was more of a penalty on Vardy when he gets kicked in the box than the one on Fatui was a penalty, in my view. You know, he did not want to give anything to anyone that second half. He could not wait to blow his full-time whistle and go off that pitch because he knew he'd made so many mistakes in that game. Speaking to Hull fans, they were very, very the same with Leicester fans, angry and disappointed with that performance. It wasn't Leicester fans.
They're poor.
They're poor.
I've said it before. I think the whole division's poor. Some people were trying to argue to me the other day that the division's good quality and there's good quality teams in there. I said that for me, there's 4 teams in there who, in Premier League standards, Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, and Southampton would have a stab at beating some of the teams in the Premiership. The rest of the sides, which is why when I look at Bristol City, West Brom, Birmingham, Norwich, they're all poor, average sides, and some of them are really poor. So the refs just back that up. It's not a great league.
But does that not show you now how the gap between the Championship and the Premiership has got every year now, every single year?
Yeah.
That money of influence of money, what a club gets, like a Sheffield United, a Burnley, a Luton now, they can come back down and not worry about things because they've just got a nice big money for going up. They'll get 90 million for coming back down with parachute payments as long as they've done a Leicester and tied it into any contract stupidly. And they'll be set for them coming back down and go, right, who do we want to keep? Who do we want to sell? But we'll be able to outpay anyone in the Championship once again. Once again, it'll be come to a period at 3 up, 3 down. Every single season will never change now because it'll be the same teams yo-yoing because other teams just can't compete unless they get a big investor who can chuck some money at their way.
Yeah, indeed. Lots of comments, keep getting them in there. Lewis says, can I just say the rest of this season have been terrible? This do a better thing. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, they have not been good in there. Mavadidi should be dropped for Albrighton. Tom Mavadidi's been in and out.
So frustrating.
What's your thoughts?
Frustrating.
It's time for him to come back and perform like the best, isn't it?
ever since we won Manager of the Month and Player of the Month, we as a team completely dropped off it, and especially Mavididi, he just completely dropped off the cliff with his performances. I think we saw that at Sunderland away. He went through on goal in 5, 6, 7 games ago, like Birmingham. He's tucking that in the way. He's putting it in the bottom corner. He's not even going to hesitate. He's not even thinking of looking up and trying to find Vardy. He's putting that ball in the net. His confidence at the moment, he's a confidence player. He's shot for, sadly. Would I bring Albrighton in? We know what we're going to get from Sharky. He's going to get his work rate. He hasn't got the skill of Mavididi and he hasn't got the raw pace of Mavididi, but he offers something completely different. He offers that quality of ball into the box. What we all know, Vardy and Albrighton connection at the best of times is always there. But you can play him on the left, you can play him on the right, so you can switch Fatui over if you had to make this work. I don't know. It's one of those. It's harsh on Mavididi. He's had such a good season, first time season at Leicester, but I'd say the last 5, 6, 7 games he has gone missing for me. And Enzo talked about players only playing when they're on form, and to me now his consistency gone out the window. And he's another one. He gets very mardy very quickly when the referees don't give him free kicks. You can see it on his face, the disbelief, but he hasn't been given a free kick for something. And then he'll go and tackle someone and foul them. And it's like, you can't do that in this league because referees will just give you a card and not them.
Yeah, Andy says here, Albrighton can't do 90 minutes. You could be about right now, Andy, but I'm not sure. Nathan says Mavididi has dropped his effort and desire noticeably in there. James says he seems like another Damari Gray.
Yeah, I can understand that. And that was my big thing with Damari. A quality, talented young man, all the ability, all the skills.
It's there.
You can see it, and Eunice Atkins got it as well, mate. But decision making and consistency every single game, it just wasn't there. He was a 1 in 8 player, Damari Gray. 1 game in 8, he'd be a well beaten, and you think, right, we've got it now. And then you go missing again. Paul Gallagher's another one. I always say that about Gallagher. Some games he'd be an absolute brilliant player, and then for the next 4, you wouldn't see him again. So no, consistency John says, from him.
And just KDH a little bit as well. Yeah, that's why the international break's probably going to come at a great time in there for us. A couple of comments to get in here. David, who I think is a Leeds fan, fair enough. We welcome all fans. He says your manager probably helped galvanise and stir up our players more than any team talk Park could have done. I get what he was saying, but sometimes it's just best to keep your mouth shut. David, I did say that the day before the match, that I wouldn't have said that. I don't think there was any need to come out and say that in there. Bubba, I've got to point this out. Bubba says, love the shirt, Phil. So listen, I need to get this out there and say thanks to Alan Wellman. Sent me this. It's Tom. Leicester fan logo, Leicester City badge. I'm not sure why he's put my face on it, but hey, thanks, Alan. I love it. If you, I know Tom said he wanted to get one before we come on. Alan, I love it. If you're watching, cheers for that, mate. If you do want to get any t-shirts by Alan, I asked him, what did you do? He does this as a job. So Tawny Creations, go and find them on Etsy. And I don't know, they sell all sorts. But thanks, Alan, and thanks, Bubba, for pointing it out and reminding me in there. Keep getting your views in and your comments in. Steve Finch says, both wingers have stopped making runs to the line and have become very predictable and easy to defend. Terry says, Enzo will sort out a lot of issues during this break, Tom. I think what Terry says there is what we're all hoping. And that is a good time, reset. I know we've got the FA Cup game in there that we all would love to see us win. We'd all love a semi-final. I don't know if we were to beat Chelsea, Tom, it's just an extra game in the mix. I'm not going to say no because we'd all love it, but
then it's the magic of the FA Cup, and you only then one away game from the final. Me and you were there for 2021, and what a special and memorable day it was. And I will never turn down a chance to get into another FA Cup final. You never know. No one had us beat Chelsea. Everyone was saying we'd lose to Chelsea that day.
Tom,
everyone said we'd lose to Chelsea that day.
I know.
We beat them.
I know. But I'm going to give you a choice, and everybody who's watching this, because I want to know. And you know what choice I'm going to give you. FA Cup win or promotion. Put it in the comments. I'm not saying it's an either or, and some people say, why can't we have both? But just for fun, just quickly before we finish, Tom, FA Cup win or promotion, which would you prefer? And put it in the comments, you can just put FA Cup or promotion. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's promotion, because I don't want to watch any more Championship football. If you can finish the season now, I cannot be more sick of the Championship. So I 100% is promotion, please. In any form, it doesn't have to be top.
if we were where we were 6 to 8 weeks ago and the points clear, then I would have
No,
turned around.
no, we are now.
Clear.
Where we are now. No, no, no
I think
asterisks.
it has to be promotion, sadly. And I love the FA Cup. I don't
I
care
thought
what
you were going to say FA Cup.
If we weren't in the final nine financial mess than where we are now, then I might have turned around and thought about it and thinking I can cope with one more season in the Championship. But seeing that we are in such a mess, I've seen this club in a mess before. As I said earlier, the administration years. We need to get out of this division as quick as we can. And for me, let's eat these games up and get some more wins on the board, because the quicker we can get out, the quicker we can enjoy it more and not have to come on shows like this worrying about Leeds, Ipswich catching us. And at the moment, it is worrying times to be sitting there thinking we were 12 points clear not long ago, and now we're only 3 points clear, and Leeds could go equal on points with at the weekend.
So me and Tom are both saying promotion. Get your views in if you're watching. Alan is watching. This is Alan's. Thanks, Alan, mate. Appreciate it. What Richie says, I want both. Richard Wyatt says promotion, please. Nick says you could sell those shirts minus a certain image. Well, you don't want to lose the that, do you? The bit of fill on there.
That's the best bit about the shirt.
I might wear it on Friday, Tom.
Phil will sign it for you.
Friday, I might as well. We mentioned Friday. I'm meeting up with Tom. There's a whole load of us going. If you've not got your tickets left, there is apparently just 2 days left. You can get your tickets till Wednesday. We're going down on Friday to the Mattioli Arena, which is the Leicester Arena where the Riders play. There's going to be Matt Elliott, Emil Heskey, Muzzy Izzet, Martin O'Neill, Jerry Taggart, Steve Walsh. There's a few tickets left, Tom. I'm looking forward to it because you're going to be there. We're going to be there. So we'll have a good chat down there about all things, Tom.
Sorry, did they lose Robbie Savage's invite also?
Let's say, yeah, Robbie Savage is there. Tom, I can tell you, but I can't tell you who. There is an extra surprise player going as well. So I'll leave you to have a guess. Who do you think is missing? Who could be there?
I'm going to go.
We should get people.
I'm going to go, Mr.
Go on, I'll get
Neil
other people to
Lennon.
guess.
Neil Lennon.
Neil Lennon is a guess. I can't say, Tom.
It's a good guess.
But yeah, get your views and get your comments in. Who's going to be in there? Let's get through a few of these before we go. Terry says promotion every time. Imtiaz wants both. Greedy Imtiaz, greedy. Mick says promotion. Sean says the promised land. Danny says promotion. Lewis is another greedy one in there. Andy, see you on Friday, Andy. Andy's coming with us. Andy, I should say, Andy won 2 tickets and Joanna's won 2 tickets. We did do the Andy one live in the show, and I need to put a post out for Joanna, but they both won tickets. So well done to them both. Richie says want both. Jason says promotion. Bubba says promotion is the most important thing for many reasons. Peter Taylor knows all about administration and says promotion. MTS says he's joking. No, MTS, we're allowed to say both because we want both, but the question was either or. I'm going to put as many up on there as we rock up in there. Ross says greedy but want both. That's like picking between a steak or a pork scratching. Yeah, actually, I hear what you're saying there, because you want them both, but really you need the steak. Actually, that makes quite good sense. Reedy says European nights in the Championship. How would that work? With the amount of midweek games, that's if we were to win the FA Cup and stay in the Championship. Listen, there's so many comments in there. Oh, and a few people guessing here who is going to be that extra person. Andy saying, is it Steve Guppy? That's a good shout. Muzzy's already there, Michael. Muzzy's already there. In there. Lee Pisspot. We can have a whole show on. We can have a whole show on Lee Pisspot, couldn't we, Tom? And his handbag. Promotion is saying there. Mike Whitlow. Don't know what's happened to Mike Whitlow.
Mike Whitlow.
What a legend. Dave says Steve Claridge. Tony Cottee, Scooby Buzz, Ewan Roberts. Ewan Roberts would be a good one as well. Really thinks it's Daka going to the thing in Junior Lewis. Yeah, it's not Junior Lewis. Anyway, Tom, I'll see you Friday for a beer.
I'll get me glad rags
at the Morningside Arena. Yes. Have you got your outfit sorted? What are you wearing?
Not yet. I've got to think about this long and hard. tough decision. You know, as men take that long to get ready before we go out.
Yeah, I'm still debating: is it a smart shirt or is it a football shirt?
I was going to say
these sorts of things.
I thought it was sparkly.
Sparkly. Oh, somebody suggested we should go as full kit wankers, and I did think that was quite a good one, Tom. Absolutely, a retro shirt, retro shorts, socks, football boots. Are you up for that?
I think Reedy should definitely wear that because Reedy has no choice to do it. That he's told by you as his boss.
Shall I make Reedy do it?
I think so. I think Reedy's probably in the back there.
Oh, I was going to add him in, and he's hidden away. He's there in the background. He's doing the background work. Right, Tom. Thank you. Look, there he is, doing the background work, aren't you, Reedy?
Oh, full kit wanker.
Got to turn his mic on. Full kit wanker. There he is. Right. See you later. Right. Thanks for that. Thanks, Tom, for joining us. We'll see you very soon. Don't forget, this week we've got Lox's show on Thursday, Fox's Focus. We've got the famous Aftermath on Sunday, which will be a pre-match, and we'll have a watch-along for Chelsea versus Leicester in the FA Cup. Come on, Leicester. Oh, it's exciting, Tom. Exciting.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everod's, Barlow Blinds, Booker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Nubian Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.